Sexism. Sexism is not only portrayed in Twin Peaks: The Return, but artfully dissected. The contemporary issues that we as social psychologists study are of great interest to artists like David Lynch, who seek to understand the way humans interact and how those interactions affect us. Twin Peaks: The Return sets up scenarios indicative of how women have come to be treated by contemporary society, dealing with social psychological issues like social justification theory. And strong female characters give us insight into the far reaching implications of these concepts. Their very human reactions give us, as social psychologists, a better understanding of the issues we study and a feeling of what it's like to experience some of these concepts. In The Return, we can see various groups, like the spirits from the Black Lodge, the residents of Twin Peaks and their friends who fight these angry spirits, and the bad guys, the people who are preyed upon by the spirits and who are pulled into their perverse desires. We as social psychologists watch these groups interact with each other and are concerned with how the individual is also affected by these interactions. We have broken down ideas about discrimination into cognitive functions like outgroup homogeneity effect, ambivalent sexism, social system justification theory, and social dominance orientation. These are some of the lenses through which we define sexism. Outgroup homogeneity effect is the tendency to assume that there is more similarity among members of outgroups than among members of in-groups. Besides seeing members of the other group as less than members of the in-group, members of the in-group can feel threatened by members from the out-group. We know this because the part of the brain that responds during threats, the medial prefrontal cortex, responds the same way to seeing faces from out-group members and objects versus seeing faces from in-group members. The brain and how it operates is the tissue that connects identity and discrimination. Social psychologists have measured the same activity in the brain when people observe objects and faces from those of outgroups as when they experience a threat to their identity. We've also attributed this brain activity to decreased intellectual functioning, like ability to do well on a test, or in the context of Twin Peaks, the ability to react to situations in a fully human way. Sexism has victims, but it also has perpetrators. The idea behind the show is that these spirits are part of us, that we can get caught up in. The way we define this is with social psychological concepts, but there are concepts that lead to those concepts and concepts that lead from them. Actions have reactions. The story of Twin Peaks gives us reasons and reactions for our concepts. The story derives from that of a journey. The Black Lodge and its opposing counterpart, the White Lodge, originated in ancient legends passed down by the Nez Perce tribe, who once inhabited the Twin Peaks region. In the stories, the Black Lodge was the shadow self of the White, a place of pure evil through which all souls passed on the way to perfection. During this process, the pilgrim would confront the dweller on the threshold, their own shadow self. If this challenge was not met with perfect courage, the lodge would utterly annihilate their soul. While the White Lodge could supposedly be accessed with strong feelings of love, the Black would open to its opposite, fear. By defining and understanding the social psychological concepts around sexism, we can work toward breaking free of painful stereotypes that hinder our spiritual growth. Shows like Twin Peaks and other art can help us to further our understanding by giving us characters we can identify with, whose pain and growth are so acutely portrayed that we are able to feel it ourselves.